Muted. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now let's get it. Let's see how the one thing I don't like about this camera is how, like, if I'm here versus here, one of them's in focus and one of them's out of focus. Let me mess with my mic settings a little bit, I think. I messed with... Holy crap. Okay. Man, you can really hear the birds. I messed with my mic properties, like the levels. How about that? I turned it down now. I messed with them the other day, or like a week ago now, because I felt I was always so quiet, just naturally. It's a little quieter. What? I guess we'll have to try with some sounds. I don't know. Originally my mic was at like 10 out of 100. By default, so I didn't really know what was up at first, but I guess we're going to do a calibration because I don't want it to be, I want it to be able to be balanced well between my talking level and sounds, normal sounds. I think we'll make it a little bit louder. It's at, how about that? It's at 58 now. It went from 77 to 48, 58. So, guess we'll see. Shoot. There we go. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. I have the door open because it's a beautiful day. It's like 60, about 60 out. And you'll probably be able to hear the birds and stuff. And it is rather windy. So hopefully if there's a loud car or something, you won't have to really deal with it, but you'll be able to hear it. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm thinking and talking and it's not working well. I'll move that up. I can barely see my screen. Move all my stuff. So what I think I'm going to do, for those watching, I'm going to record this while we make like the pics and stuff. So I'll live stream it obviously, but then I'll also record it and upload it for tomorrow's video. That way it's still before the tournament starts. And yeah. So make the picks. I've got empty bracket right here, and then a little bit of research and stuff. I've filled out a couple of brackets already. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say, I don't know who's here, who's not, and I'll make an announcement again when I start recording the video, and then probably at the end too. But I made a group, like a bracket pool group on the NCAA like official website. So I put that in the community post I made the other day, and I just edited it earlier today that We were using ESPN originally. I've switched since to the NCAA website because I think it works a lot better and I understand the UI. The ESPN UI is just confusing to me. But yeah, so I don't know if anybody joined. Nobody joined yet, so that's why I felt like it was fine to switch it. So this one, just click on the link. There's no password for it. I'll drop the link in chat actually, and probably in the description real quick here. But there's no password or anything for it, so you don't have to worry about that. Should be able to just join. Let's see. Copy link. Hey Ethan. How's it going? Man, that is a link. All right. There we go. Now I'll get back to the live stream page. Should be good. Got that. Oh. YouTube deleted my own link. But I put the link in the description of the live stream. So if you're wanting to join the pool, I just set it up. You might have to refresh the page if you're already here, but are you able to understand what I'm saying? Or do you mean you just don't understand like March Madness? I appreciate the compliment though. Gotta figure out how to put this so I don't have to be turning all the time. Got a Crunch Bar. That was a little pre-game snack. See. It's a very interesting seeding selection for the teams this year. Oh, that's fair. March Madness is just a big old tournament with 64 teams. You can kind of see it laid out when I switch over to this screen, but it's just a big old tournament, 64 teams all going against each other, and the way they're set up kind of makes it fun, where it's all over the place, like upsets like crazy and stuff. That's a loud car. I wonder if I can get a pop-out chat. There we go. Perfect. Now I don't have to look over as far. All right. Have you heard of March Madness before, at least? Or like around? I don't know how big it is outside of America, if it's really much of a thing. I know basketball is fairly popular, or at least to my knowledge, it's fairly popular in other countries because we have a lot of players that will go to like the Euro League or the Japanese League or a couple of different Asian leagues to play. If they're not going pro, it's kind of like the minor leagues. Pro in the NBA at least. Oh, gotcha. So no basketball at all? That's fair. The only time I care about basketball is March Madness, and like from the time between the Super Bowl and when the season ends, so like a month and a half. I don't care about like professional basketball at all. NBA or college basketball is really the only basketball I care about, and that's only because I went to a school that had a decent program. But enough dilly-dallying. Gotta get my screen fixed. Come on, man. Hold on. There we go. I'm gonna be clearing my throat a lot. Okay, so again, I'm gonna start a recording once I actually get going here, but I guess, does the sound good in your opinion? I've been messing with the mic settings a lot, because I'm talking at like my normal volume almost right now. Hello, 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 hello. See, I don't know. Hello. Of course, the stream is on like a 30-second delay. I don't know how to improve that, so it'll take me a while to hear myself. Perfect. Well, we'll stick with it then. Sorry if this is loud. I'm changing the setting. How does that sound? Switched it to binaural instead of just the interview talking one. I don't know. I should be able to tell the difference between the right and the left ear now. As long as it still sounds fine from the front. Yeah, a little bit. That sounds good enough to me. That's good. Man. Okay, let's see. Where's my OBS? So, I apologize. The one thing I don't like about this NCAA website compared to the ESPN website is that it is very bright. So, this is about to be a very white screen and you're going to get flashbanged. Apologies. Just be prepared. Yeah, this sucks. The ESPN is so much nicer with the dark theme, and I don't think there's a way to make this dark themed, but so before we get going, this is the bracket. So 64 teams, technically 68 because there's 4 play-in games, but that's a little like pre-tournament thing. You can kind of think of it as, at least. So there's 4 regions. So this is like the East region. Each region has 16 teams. This is the South region, as you can see. East. And then there's the number next to their name. The team name is what seed they are. So 1 is the highest seed, 16 is the lowest. And there's, again, 4 of these regions. So West and Midwest are down here. So it all goes together. Like these 2 teams play each other. The winner of that game plays the winner of this game, and so on until there's one winner. So the team that doesn't lose throughout the whole tournament will be the winner. And it's over the course of like 2 weeks. The championship game is on the 8th. So like the first round, since there's 32 games, it's over the course of 2 days. So it'll be the 21st and 22nd to get through the first round. Second round will be the 23rd and 24th, which are these games here. And then Sweet 16 are these games here. I can't like really click on them to show you. But these games here, and then Elite 8 is down here. Final 4 are the last 4 teams remaining, which is on the 6th. I'm pretty sure Sweet 16 and Elite 8 kind of follow the same, like they'll be next Thursday, Friday, then Elite 8 will be Saturday, Sunday. And then the championship team, the last two, or championship game, the last 2 teams remaining be on the 8th, which is a Monday, which I kind of find annoying. I wish it was on like a Sunday night, but yeah. So each section of 16 seeded teams will only get like 1 representative. So like 1 team will win their region out of the 16, and they'll go to the final 4, and then only 2 regions will make it to the championship game. So that's kind of how it works. I'm not really familiar with how other brackets work, so if there's other tournaments that you know about for other sports, they might work differently. But, and these are all teams across like all conferences of college basketball. They have like Selection Sunday, which was 2 days ago, the Sunday 2 days ago. And they decided, because there's like 300 basketball teams, they decided the 68 that would get to play here. These aren't my predictions yet, so the teams right here, like all the teams lined up right now, are the round 1 matchups. So this is what's decided as the first games and the first matchups. So this was like determined by the selection committee who runs March Madness. So all these are playing either the 21st or 22nd in round 1. So these are already scheduled. So where I would start predicting is like I'd say like, oh, UConn's going to beat Stetson and that FAU is going to beat Northwestern type deal. So like you pick who's going to win the games going on, and then this is the round 1 is like the base that you start out of, because these are the games that are going to happen. Am I able to unselect? Dang. Yeah, you can see a lot of information about the teams. I don't look at that though. I don't want to save my picks. Let's see. Edit picks. There we go. So yeah. Hope that makes sense. Take a sip. So, I guess we can get it going. I'm going to go back to the main cam to start the video before I start recording it. So, I think I'll just do this like soft-spoken whisper voice. Should have enough water for it. We'll see. Hopefully I don't have to clear my throat too much. But yeah, that's fair. I know like soccer is huge over there and like in Europe in general, so I wouldn't be surprised if they have some sort of tournament bracket. It might not be 64 teams, but who knows? I'm extremely uneducated in anything besides like NBA and NFL or basketball and football. So I think we'll get started here. There we go. I feel like I'm blurry in this, but then when I have the web page up, it doesn't look as bad. Okay. Anywho, let's get started. So I'll still read and respond to chat during the video, even though it's recorded, so don't worry about that. Let me fire off text. Bang. Okay, so my screen's all lined up. Okay. My chair likes to go down. You might see it like go like that, but really slowly during it. And then I gotta stand up to get it to go back up. Rather annoying. Oh, I think I just blasted the ears. Apologies. but okay. I don't really know how to start this. Okay. Hey, Brick. Yeah. Doing good. How about you? Gonna start recording I'm gonna like make a recording for making the picks, and then I'll upload it for tomorrow's video. That way I can get a video out for it before the tournament starts. So I'll be starting that here shortly, but I'll still respond to chat and everything, so no worries there. Just got an ad on my own live stream. What the heck? Okay. In focus. There we go. Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be doing the pick'em for the March Madness bracket. We'll be making our selections. Mostly going for like serious, like hopeful, high percentage correct bracket, but have a little fun with it too. So I'm going to be switching to the monitor, to the screen. I'm doing this on the NCAA website. It is very bright. So if you are in a dark place, then beware, because this is about to be a very big flashbang for you. So apologies, but I don't find a dark mode on this website. So 3, 2, 1. So if you're interested in joining a pool before the tournament starts, of course, Thursday at noon, if you're interested in joining a pool and filling out a bracket yourself, then I have in the description the link to the pool on the NCAA website. You might have to make an account, but it's free. Can join up. There's no password or anything, so feel free to join, make a bracket yourself, and let's just have fun with it. So, kind of get into the picks here. Done a little research. Kind of fun to go off some wacky trends sometimes, but of course, if we're going to be going for points, the number 1 seeds in all the regions are going to win. So I think how I'm going to fill this out is by rank categories. So we'll do all the 1 seeds first, and that'll be easy. Just pick them all. Kind of boring. And then we'll go down. The 8 and the 9. I think some of this analysis is going to be fully vibes, and I remember stats, but not enough to tell you the number of them. But we need, basically, I'm going to be reading off some of the screen on my right here, so apologize. So for 8 and 9 seeds, I mean, it's pretty much a toss-up, right? I think between FAU and Northwestern here in the East, Northwestern will take that. They're just a better basketball school. Florida Atlantic hasn't really been too impressive this year. Nebraska and Texas A&M, again, another toss-up. I'm just going to choose Texas A&M off of vibes because I don't like Nebraska. So there's your in-depth analysis with that. Michigan State, pretty good basketball team. They're one of those. There's a few this year where the selection committee kind of threw everybody for a loop in making teams that should be higher seed a lower seed. So, like, Michigan is favored according to the odds makers in Vegas over Mississippi State, even though they're a lower seed. So, who knows? And then Utah State and TCU. This will be a toss-up, I believe, a really close game, but I'm just going to go for TCU with that Big 12 representation. There's 8 Big 12 teams in the tournament this year, which is great to see. So going back up, San Diego State is on a tear, so we'll go, I guess you can kind of see, I'll accidentally clicked on this a lot we'll pick them 5 seeds. It's one of those trends where it's the most trendy matchup, where a 12 seed will usually beat a 5 seed if there's certain like criteria that has been met for some of their stats, like adjusted offense and defense. Reading off some of the trends here. In the last 32 of 38 tournaments, a number 12 seed has defeated a number 5 seed. But it's happened more often in the past, in the distant past than the recent past. But James Madison could do that. There's a couple teams that could do that, really, from the 5 and 12 matchups. Wisconsin's not too hot. They're pretty streaky, and they have a reputation for just kind of lacking in March. So, wouldn't be too surprising if this is the upset at the 5-12 seed, at least up here. And then, same thing with Gonzaga. I know it's kind of a, it's recommended, but it's one of those things where I think the committee seeded them a little too high. I'm going to try to pull up their odds real quick, but in the end I'm taking McNeese. McNeese is very good for their conference, and I'm kind of on a tear. So let's see. Gonzaga is 6-point favorites, so if you're a betting man or woman, I'd take that spread. And then the last one, St. Mary's and Grand Canyon. We're going with St. Mary's. I mean, first of all, we're not going to pick 3 5-12 upsets. And St. Mary's is just kind of a stellar team as of late. So, see if I can get you a stat on the 4-13. Let's see. In the past 5 tournaments, 14 of the 20 matchups between the number 4 and number 13 seeds were decided by single digits, which doesn't really help us much for these, but you know. Let's see the other stat on here. In 11 of the 12 tournaments, when the first 4 has existed, at least one of its participants has advanced to the second round, which the first 4 are these down here, like where you see there's still a team to play. So they play Tuesday and Wednesday. So by the time this video comes out, 2 of them have already been decided. But this stat is saying pick at least one of them to win. Now which one? I don't know. Because there's 2 16 seeds and 2 10 seeds. So like, we already picked against 2 of the play-in ones. And then we've got 10 seed against Texas, 10 seed against Florida. We'll get there. But and then the last stats on the 15 seed, so we'll get there. 4 and 13, Auburn versus Yale. Auburn being a 4 seed is kind of criminal, in my opinion. I think they're like a top 8 team in the country right now. So they should be like a 2 seed realistically, or high 3, low 2. But Yale is Yale. I don't like picking Duke, because I don't think the Blue Bloods should really be Blue Bloods anymore. But against Vermont, that's going to be an easy win. We're not going for upset city here. Kansas and Samford, this is another one that, in my own personal like vibes bracket, I picked Samford, so then it was a 12 versus 13 seed. Apologies for the dog barking. Kansas has been dealing with injury problems, but I don't know if they've had enough time to kind of reconcile that. And I think they'd be able to take it at least one game into the conference tournament. Or the whole tournament, sorry. I've got conference tournaments all in my mind that just wrapped up. And then Alabama and Charleston, we'll pick Alabama for that. Charleston's kind of whatever. I mean, with these big seed gaps, if you're trying to win points, you're taking the favorites. So back up, BYU is going to win that one. That's no competition there. I don't even know how to pronounce that other team name, so I'm not going to try in an effort to not offend anybody. But there's no 6-11 stats, at least on this website. But I think BYU is a solid team. We played them, Iowa State represent. We played them twice this year, and they put up a good fight and almost beat us. So, almost beat us at home. So, very, not very, but bullish on them, especially up against an 11 seed. Texas Tech versus NC State. I want to go for NC State. I think this is one of those matchups that's very scary, given how far apart the seeds are. I wouldn't be surprised if NC State wins. So Texas Tech is 5-point favorites, which for a 6 versus 11 seed is not that big. I'm going to go with Tech for the Big 12 representation, and I think they'll win it, but I think it's a scary game for them. South Carolina and Oregon. We've got, I can't spell Oregon. It's pretty much a toss-up, to be honest. It's one of those criminally underrated or criminally overrated, depending on how you look at it. Either of these teams. The spread for this game is 1 point. So they have odds makers in Vegas think that South Carolina will win by 1 point, which for a 6 versus 11 seed is insane that this is a toss-up. I think Oregon can take it, so I'm going to be picking them. A little bit of an upset here. And then finally, Clemson versus New Mexico. This is the biggest loop that the selection committee has thrown in this year's bracket. Clemson, I think most people, the general public, they're going to pick Clemson because it's a household name and it's a 6 over an 11 seed. But New Mexico is a powerhouse of a team this year, and Vegas, just to show you what Vegas thinks compared to what the selection committee thinks. Come on, baby. Pull it up. Clemson is a 2-point underdog, so they think New Mexico is going to win by 2 points. So it's smart to check the odds. Even if you're not a gambling person, if you're trying to make a bracket that's going to win, smart to check the odds that Vegas thinks, and help that influence your bracket a little bit. Back up, 3 versus 14. I don't think there's going to be anything fancy here. Illinois is a great school. They're going to win over Morehead State. Get into the very far apart distant seeds again. I don't think there's really much of a surprise in any of these. I think the one I do think Creighton, I think Creighton's kind of a sham. I don't know what the word is exactly, but I don't think Creighton is worth a 3 seed in the slightest. They might be more like 6 seed, but I think this game will be a close game. I don't know what, I haven't looked at this game for the odds yet, but I think Creighton will get scared in this. Let's see, they're 12-point favorites, but I would take Akron spread in there. I'm gonna take Creighton to win it. I don't think they'd lose to Akron, but I don't think they're going to win by 13 or more. And they're not going to make it very far. And then, of course, Baylor, powerhouse of a team right now, especially in the Big 12, and not Colgate. Washington State and Drake, I'm a little biased because Drake is an Iowa school, but this is also one where 10-7s are kind of toss-ups in the first place, right? With how close of a seed they are. They're as close as you can get besides 8 and 9 seed. So I'm going to go with Drake. I think they're overall a better team, taking the bias out. I'm just going to pull up the odds for all these, probably. Yeah, Drake's 1.5-point favorites, according to Vegas. So I don't know if there is a stat for 10-7 matchups. Not one, at least on the site I'm using. But anyways, Florida and then it's either Colorado or Boise State. Whoever wins, I think that's tomorrow's game. Maybe tonight. Tonight or yesterday's, depending on when you're watching this. But I don't think Florida's all that hot. Yeah. So they could, I mean, this one could go either way. I'm going to pick Florida because I think it's more reasonable. But, actually, wait, am I losing my mind? I don't think they're that hot. Moving on. Texas, another play-in game. Colorado State or Virginia, which played yesterday or tonight, Tuesday night. I don't think the winner of that really matters. Texas is a good team. They're not a great team. They're a good team. So yeah. And then Dayton and Nevada. I have Nevada winning this one as well. But this is one of those where it's like, I really don't know much about either of these teams. So I don't want to say too much. And then, of course, we're picking Iowa State for the 2 seed. South Dakota State I'm not too concerned about. I think we're double-digit favorites in that one. I think it's 16 points. There has been... I forgot the stat exactly. Let me see if it's on here. But... Oh, not only has a number 15 seed won a first-round game in 3 consecutive years, but all 3 went on to reach the Sweet 16 as well. So, I don't know if that'll make it 4 consecutive years. I don't think. Well, there's a chance. I don't think it's in the East region. This is a killer of a region except for, like, seeds 13 and plus. The one that could happen is Marquette could lose to Western Kentucky. I don't think, like, Western Kentucky, I don't know much about, but I do know Marquette is very spotty and having injury issues. I think they'll win it, but if there was a 2-15 upset, I think it would be the Marquette one. Tennessee is going to win St. Peter's, and Arizona, I'm very bullish on. And again, trying to not get too heavy in the upset category. I don't know if I can pick FAU over Northwestern. Pick A&M over Nebraska, TCU. I picked all the 9 seeds, I guess, so didn't even realize that. And then going through it, UConn is great. I think there was a bizarre stat about the previous champion. I think it's something like the previous champion has not made it to the Sweet 16 a lot. Oh yeah, only 4 of the 15 defending champs since 2007 has reached the Sweet 16. 4 others have missed the tournament altogether. Defending champs have lost in their first or second round in each of the past 6 tournaments. And this is the 3rd straight year for UConn to be a number 1 seed. So, UConn is kind of on another level, but, and then again, if we're going more focused on stats and winning, I think the 1 seed is just going to win all these. Purdue, for recency bias, I don't want to pick them to go very far, but at the end of the day, they are a 1 seed, and I think they do have the easiest easiest region, so they could make it to the Final Four solely based on their placement. San Diego State and Auburn, again, very bullish on Auburn. They should be a 2 seed in my eyes. I think they're just going to be able to cruise. I think if anybody that isn't a 1 or a 2 seed is going to make it far, it'll be Auburn. James Madison and Duke. I don't really like either of these. I think it's an easy path for whoever wins Duke versus Vermont. There's my analysis. McNeese versus Kansas. Again, I really don't know the situation of the injuries on Kansas, and McNeese is just hopeful for the Gonzaga game. I think no matter what, it'll be, as long as Kansas is healthy, they'll be able to win. If Kansas is not healthy, then who knows what could happen. I mean, I'm 50-50 on picking Kansas over Samford in the first place, so I want to pick McNeese, but I also, in this matchup here, but I also don't think I can get myself to do it. And then St. Mary's over Alabama. I'm not sure if that's a hot pick. I don't know if that's the consensus pick, but I think St. Mary's is just an overall better team than Alabama. Alabama has the offense, but something about St. Mary's. And then up to BYU and Illinois. I want to pick the Big 12 representation here, but Illinois is kind of just an offensive powerhouse, so they're going to have to get picked for that. Texas Tech versus Kentucky. This is another one where I just don't like the matchups. I think Kentucky will win it, but I can see this being a very close and good game. So, and then this is where I don't know if to pick stats or my feelings. I want to pick Marquette to win, but I don't at the same time. So I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on this. This whole South region is kind of just bleh to me, besides who I have winning it. So I could see Marquette having a hard time and losing to Florida. So I'm going to be picking them to lose to Florida. Down here, we got Oregon versus Creighton. I don't think Creighton's that good. Now, whether Oregon beats South Carolina or not, I'm not sure. I just feel that the winner of this game is going to beat Creighton. So whether that's Oregon or South Carolina, we'll see. But have them winning that. And Baylor and New Mexico. As much as I like New Mexico, Baylor's going to win that one. Back up at the top here, Iowa State, of course. No bias involved there. 2 Iowa teams. But Iowa State's defense, I don't think Drake can match up to. Oh, I already picked Florida and Marquette. Skipping ahead on myself. Texas and Tennessee. I think I like Texas' spot here, and Tennessee isn't too grand. But I think Texas can be the team that is a high seed relative to everybody else who would make it far and can do work. So, Arizona, finally for Nevada. Makes sense. Let's see. Sweet 16's stats for you. Let me lay it down real quick. A double-digit seed has advanced to the Sweet 16 in 15 tournaments, in 15 straight tournaments, and 36 of 38 overall tournaments. Now, how are you going to use that to pick? I don't know. I think our only option is Oregon. So, then the other one, number 11 seeds have played the Cinderella role well recently, so I guess that would be Oregon. At least one 11 seed has made the Sweet 16 in 7 of the past 9 tournaments. We've seen multiple 11 seeds make it to the second weekend in 5 of the past 12 tournaments. And 11 seeds were absent from last year's Sweet 16. The last time we had consecutive Sweet 16s without an 11 seed present was 15 years ago. So if you're a follower of ESPN trends, I guess we'd have to pick Oregon. If it's an Oregon-Texas matchup, I'm picking Texas, though. Sorry. Starting a little out of bounds here. Guess we'll do these lower ones. Baylor and Arizona. I'm high on Arizona this year. I think it bit me in the butt last year, but we'll ride. I think Kentucky will beat Florida. Whether it's Marquette or Florida, though, who knows. And then Iowa State I had beating Illinois. And then, I guess if we start down here again, Purdue versus Kansas. Man, it really depends. I don't like having Kansas this far in the tournament to begin with. I'm going to have Purdue. I mean, they're number 1 seed. Barring all of their March struggles, I think they would be able to do well. They just can't play in March. And then North Carolina, of course. Hard not to pick against the 1 seeds right now. With that being said, Houston, very bullish on Houston. And this is where it gets tough. My mind versus my heart. UConn and Auburn. I think if anybody's going to stick it to UConn, it would be Auburn. And this is where, like, I should pick UConn. But with all those stats that I rattled off earlier about defending champs, like, if anybody's going to be a back-to-back defending champ, it'd be UConn this year, I believe. But I'm going with my heart and Auburn. I think they're criminally underrated. They're in a good spot. They'd probably have momentum going into this game. And I think they'd be able to take them on. With that being said, as an Iowa State fan, I am terrified of either of these two teams, UConn or Auburn, which one we would get. I think we got put in a difficult position with the East region because it is such a cutthroat region with the teams in it. I think it'll make it very interesting, but I'm worried that our tournament run might not be as long-lived as I'd like it to be. Iowa State and Auburn. I'm going to have to go... I don't know, I'm fighting my bias. We're going Iowa State. Houston and Kentucky. Houston, Purdue, and Texas. I can't believe I'm picking Purdue to go. But, and then North Carolina and Arizona. I'll pick Arizona for that. I'm a big fan of Arizona. 2-2-1-1. Let me hit you with some... Well, I skipped over the Elite 8 stats. For that, at least 2 teams seeded number 6 or worse have reached the Elite 8 in each of the past 3 tournaments, and 6 of the past 7. Last year marked the first time an Elite 8 did not have at least one number 1 seed present. And all 4 number 1 seeds reached the Elite 8 just once in the past 3 tournaments. So, I think I'm happy with that. Oregon, Texas, Purdue, Texas, yeah. And then Iowa State versus Arizona. At this point, I'm picking Houston first because that's the easy decision. Final 4 stats before I make that pick. There were 0 number 1 seeds in last year's Final 4, ending a streak of 10 years. And at least 1 team seeded 7th or worse has reached the Final 4 in 9 of the last 10 tournaments. But in the first 32 years of seeding, which was before 2010, this happened only 8 times total. So it's more of a recent trend. It's been 32 years... Oh, that's just the number 6. It's been 32 years since the number 6 seed has made it to the Final 4. And then an Iowa State specific stat on the ESPN website. Bad news, of the 36 teams that were seeded in the top 2 and in the AP top 10 after entering the season unranked, none of them reached the Final 4. We're going to be the one to break the mold this time, but at least that's the hope, right? I think if Iowa State can beat Auburn or UConn, if they make it to the Final 4, they'll have the momentum to beat Arizona. And then I just really want to see an Iowa State versus Houston matchup again. I'm very bullish on Houston, though. I believe highly of them. They've been very fun to watch all year. And I think we'd end the season 2-2. We've won against each other in our own homes, and then Iowa State beat them in the conference tournament. I think it'd be fitting for Houston to beat Iowa State and end the season as a wash in the championship game. Now, is this super realistic? No. We picked the first couple of rounds pretty good to analytics, and then once it gets to a certain point, who cares? But in good Big 12 fashion, we're going to go 58-57. We have Houston winning it all. And I gotta fix my chair. So, I hope you'll have to let me know what you guys and gals think of the picks. Either way, I'm going to be glued to the TV, the streams, and everything for the next 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. If you want to join a pool, we got a pool set up for like the YouTube channel. It's on this website again. Let me pull it up here for you. It's on the website here, ncaa.com. I've linked the direct link to join the pool in the description, so you can just straight up join. And yeah, it's free to join. Don't know if we'll have like a little prize. Have to see how many people join it. But yeah, just Smokey ASMR March Madness. You can enter one bracket. Feel free to join. Have some fun with it. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on in any of the matchups, the seedings, round one, if there's going to be any upsets, how you feel about the tournament as a whole going forward. So, thanks for watching. Peace out. Dang, that was a 30-minute video. I didn't expect it to be that long. What is everybody's thoughts? I don't know if this is... this is like my 7th bracket. I'm very indecisive on a couple of them. Nah, you can join, Ethan. I think last year I have like a family pool usually, where it's just me and some family and friends, and my mom joined it. And she doesn't know anything about college basketball. And she joined it and ended up winning by just like randomly picking like some based off team names that she knew, some based off logos and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's really just a crapshoot. Right? With the amount of upsets that can happen, it's all up in the air. What do I think about Iowa State? I think they're amazing. But I don't know, see the shirt? Can't even see myself. I'm wearing an Iowa State shirt right now. Went there, so I'm biased. But yeah, I think they're great. But I'm not super happy about the region they're in, or at least the teams in the regions they're in. I'm happy that they're in the East and they're a 2 seed. Because that means we get to pick where we played round 1 and 2. So we're playing it in Omaha, which is basically just a home game for us. That's why I think out of all of them, they won't get upset, but who knows? Who knows? I'd be sad. Let's see. I think they're 16-point favorites. Yeah, 16-point favorites. They play at 6:30 on Thursday. Mascots would be wild. I think I just do logos, because then I don't have to look them up. Mascots would be fun to do, though. I did logos last year, and I came in dead last in our pool. I don't know if you remember that, Maggie. But my logo bracket, I think, was like pretty much wiped out after round 1. Like, it only had like 5 teams surviving. I don't know how it did that bad. I think I'd have to try to do that bad. I don't know if I could repeat it. Let's see. Some other stats on this ESPN site that were really cool. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. There's a lot more stats on here than I thought. Oh, they're just listing teams. Never mind. Some of them are wild, though. Like, no team has ever won a national championship after losing its first game in the conference tournament, which would eliminate Tennessee, Creighton, Kentucky, Duke, Kansas, and Alabama. Since 2002, when KenPom started, 20 of the 21 national champions have finished in the top 25 in adjusted offense and defensive efficiency. The only exception is UConn in 2014. The people that meet this criteria this year are UConn, Purdue, Arizona, Auburn, Houston, Creighton, Marquette, and North Carolina. Duke and Tennessee are close and might qualify by the end of the tournament if they survive it. I've picked one bracket that has UConn winning, but only one. I'm more heavy on Houston winning it all. I think they can pull it off better than anybody. Number 2 seed has reached the championship game just once in the past 10 tournaments. Wow. Number 5 seed has never won a championship. It's the only seed in the top 8 that hasn't done so. Ooh, it's been 34 years since a champion came from a conference that received fewer than 4 teams. This year, UConn, Marquette, and Creighton are all top 3 seeds and the only Big East representatives. Wild. Anyways. Hope it's been fun. I'm gonna move this mic out of my face now. Yeah. I don't know who's still around in the chat. Looks like it's just me. Darn. Well, it was a fun live stream. I think those are the picks. And yeah, hopefully people join the group. Manage. There we go. If you're still around, want to join the group, feel free. I don't know if anybody will. We'll see. Sweet. Thanks, Ethan, for sticking around. Brackets lock in 1 day and 16 hours, so feel free to just throw stuff together, whatever names you like and anything like that. There's a bunch of groups and stuff, but yeah, I think that might do it for me in the stream here. It is a rather nice day out. I might just sit on the patio and enjoy it a little bit. It's a Tuesday, but feels like it's been a long week already. So, guess with that, I hope you enjoyed learning about it. And yeah, let me know either in the comments or somewhere if you want to learn any more about it or talk about it at all. I'm just going to upload the video version of what I recorded while making the picks tomorrow morning. I guess it's probably like 1 a.m. by you though, isn't it? It'll be out in 15 hours. So, I can comment on there, and I'll see your bracket in the pool if you join it and make one. So, I wish you the best of luck. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you joining. And hope you have a good rest of your night. Get to sleep soon. Midnight. Okay, so 5 hours difference. It's 7 here, but get yourself to sleep. But I appreciate you coming and joining for this. Hopefully I didn't keep you up and was able to relax you a little bit, maybe. But thanks everybody for coming around. Those past, present, and future. And I'll catch you all on the flip. So